I don't see what is so different between Pakistan and Canada. Canada is behaving exactly like that because it is providing support to terrorism and terrorists. This Trudeau government is doing this. It seems to me that as far as the Trudeau government is concerned, relations with India are not as important for it as giving sanctuary and encouragement to terrorists. In India, there is no support for Khalistan. In Punjab, Khalistan is a non-issue. So Khalistan is not going to be made in India. What might happen, however, is that there might be a Khalistan in Canada.
Well, we all have been seeing since past few days now that how and in which way India and Canada relations are soaring and they are not so good. In fact, the kind of attack and counter attacks and statements that are coming are certainly not nice to go ahead with. How and which way things will impact further, how things are going to go ahead and how this is going to impact all across different parts of the world. For this, we are now joined by a senior diplomat who has served Canada for many years in the past. He is former Ambassador Neeraj Shrivastava with me. Directly going to him and straight away putting a straight question to you, sir. It all started from how an announcement by none other than Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Trudeau, coming out in House of Commons, going ahead and saying that there is an alleged potential link and straight away accusing India for the killing of one of the terrorists there on that very particular land, or there was a person called Nijjar.
You know, it is shocking, and India has completely denied any connection with the killing of terrorist Nijjar. We have described it as absurd allegation without any basis. We are very surprised that Canada has taken this action on the basis of, if you see their official statement, on the basis of what they called quote unquote credible allegations. And another phrase which they have used is quote unquote potential link. So they have no hard evidence at all. They have just taken this action on the basis of credible allegations and potential links. I have served in Canada about 20 years ago, and the trouble is that Canada has become a center of Khalistani activities and of Khalistani terrorists. They are merely pandering to the support to the political party of the Sikhs, on whose support they are dependent in Parliament. This is a minority government which is supported from the outside by a party which contains a lot of Khalistanis, and these people probably have put pressure on Mr. Trudeau to do what he has done, to expel a senior Indian diplomat. In the process, he has seriously harmed his relations, Canada's relations with India, because India is not going to accept any such baseless allegation. This is a minority government which depends on the support of a Khalistani party in Parliament. If they do not see reason, if they do not take proper steps and continue on this path, expelling diplomats and making allegations about India, then I'm afraid that the relationship will keep deteriorating further. It will deteriorate. And because India is not going to accept or to crumble under any Canadian pressure or pressure of any country. People need to understand one thing, that today's India is not India of 30-40 years ago. It is where you could do all kinds of things and get away with it. Today's India will respond and appropriately, just as it has done. It has expelled a senior Canadian diplomat from here. in response to the expulsion of an Indian diplomat. And if the Canadian government does not mend its ways, if it does not, make amends and go down this path of confrontation, then I am afraid that relations are going to suffer. As it is, we have the background of the Kanishka tragedy.
I was about to ask. That was very. You can go.
We have the background of the Kanishka tragedy, which happened in, I think, 1994, and the Canadians dragged their feet over that. India wanted the Canadian government to catch and punish those who were involved in the planning of that bombing. Canada dragged its feet for many years, for almost 20 years they dragged their feet over it. They ultimately did not really punish anybody who should have been punished by them. So we already have this very bad, sordid, history of Canadian behavior in the past, Kanishka. And they are now what they are doing is they are doing something very serious again.
Sir, such a casual approach, I was about to ask about this particular tragedy. Such a casual approach, people died in 300 or over 300, and it was only a single person who was arrested, and he was also then left scot-free. What kind of messaging does Canadians or generally their work culture gives when they have to talk about such tragedies, taking it so lightly? And now you talk about again such open threats given to the ambassadors. I mean, they are the topmost people, and they are in the assassination list. They have been allowed for referendums. On the land of Canada, there are slogans by Mr. Pannu and others where they speak about assassinating Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, and several others.
No, this is very irresponsible behavior. No civilized country will tolerate such things. And if Canada is doing it, I am afraid I will have to put it in the same category of states which provide sanctuaries to terrorists. For example, Pakistan. I don't see what is so different in this case. Canada is behaving exactly like that because it is providing support to terrorism and terrorists.
Just for mere votes, I believe and understand that there is some 2% of Sikh population over there in Canada, and to woo voters over there, taking such a big bitter ties with country India is something. Sure.
Even when I was posted there, from 2005 to 2007, we had repeatedly taken up this matter officially with the government of Canada, and we had told them that don't do this, don't play vote bank politics, because anybody who permits terrorists to operate from its soil gets harmed by them also. Look at the condition of Pakistan today, and so just for staying in power, just for retaining the support of the extremist Khalistani party, this Trudeau government is doing this. It seems to me that as far as the Trudeau government is concerned, relations with India are not as important for it as giving sanctuary and encouragement to terrorists who threaten to create Khalistan in India, break up India. In India, there is no support for Khalistan. In Punjab, Khalistan is a non-issue. So Khalistan is not going to be made in India. What might happen, however, is that there might be a Khalistan in Canada.
What was the response then when you said that you were posted during 2005 to 2007? What was the response of the government then, and who was the Prime Minister?
Well, actually there was one Prime Minister who came to power while I was there. His name was Stephen Harper. and it was during his he ruled for 2 consecutive terms, and while his party was in power, they did not provide any encouragement to Khalistan and to the terrorists.
So as relations are soaring, in fact they are soaring day by day because we see every day there is something or other that is turning up. Amidst of this, Indo-Pacific is a concern. How and in which way is gonna that have an impact?
See, Indo-Pacific, Canada tried to enlist the support of the United States and Australia and New Zealand. You know, there is what they call 5 eyes: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK and US. They wanted these countries should issue a joint declaration or a joint statement. The countries refused to do that because they understand that how can you take action on the basis of credible allegations and potential links? Have they used the word evidence in any of the statement? No. They don't have any evidence. This is a country which is taking a drastic and very unfriendly action against the largest democracy in the world, on the basis of credible allegations and on the basis of potential links. For this particular government, staying in power is more important than good relations with India. Between the two, they are choosing to stay in power and ruin their relations with India. But other countries will not do so. I don't think Australia will do so. I don't think the US will do so. So I don't think there will be any effect on the Quad, on Indo-Pacific. And because Canada is not a player in that Quad. Australia is a player, US is a player, Japan and India. So Quad will not be affected by this. Because I think the other countries are sensible enough to see that what is being done is not correct.
There has been no doubt a kind of approach has already come out in open, or support has come out in open by US or otherwise, because it was Mr. Biden who said that he is concerned about the sore ties that are happening. How and in which way you see different countries talking about India and Canada's current relations?
Yeah. If you see the official statement, US has expressed some deep concern, something. India has chosen to keep quiet on that. We do not want to ruin our relations with other countries. And so we don't want to escalate this situation. But if any of those countries, if they decide to escalate the situation, then there will be a reaction from India. There will be a strong reaction from India.
For such fine news breaks and video features from ground on your mobile phones, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The New Indian, by clicking on the bell icon. Also, follow us on the social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Co.